Hi everybody, Sousen here. It is February 18th and I wanted to give you a very brief video about things going forward. So a couple of things. One, remember class on the 18th, this coming Tuesday, is a virtual class, but we said also that it would be that you wouldn't have to attend it. And I can't think of the word. It's optional. There you go. An optional class. So we'll be doing it on WebEx, and I would like to suggest, as we had in the past, that we do it at 5:30. So I'll put that on the email, but let's anticipate having class on 5:30 as an optional class. We'll be discussing research methods. And what I've done is I have placed up on Blackboard in the course content area um, a couple of links to videos. So I'd like you to listen to them in order. The first is a video called Basic Overview of Research Design and Methods. And it just gives you, as it says, a basic overview of this. Of course, you've got the 3 articles that you'll be reading as well, and all of these are going to kind of connect up and mix together. The second video I'd like you to look at is the overview of a policy brief. And that is an overview of a policy brief kind of competition, an advocacy competition that is being undertaken in an international sense. And so have a look at that. I think it's very clear, and we're not going to use their steps specifically. I'd like you, for our policy brief, to use the steps that I've outlined in the rubric, but those are really good steps, and I think that you should kind of interpolate, which means kind of work between and connect up their steps with the steps that are indicated in the rubric for the policy brief. You'll be seeing this video first before you do both of those, and then I've also included the policy brief guidance and the rubric in the folder entitled Assignments, Guidance, and Rubrics, and it should be the very first item up at the top. I'm trying to put items that you are supposed to be dealing with now up at the top so that it's the first thing you see. So I think that's it for logistics and all of the pieces that we are supposed to do for this week for readings. A couple of things just about policy research in general. As you'll see in the first video, the overview of research methods, they'll talk about kind of qualitative and quantitative methods. And policy research can be undertaken using both of those kinds of methods, and I would argue that the most effective approach to policy analysis is to use mixed methods in order to triangulate your data, and we've talked about that in class, so that you have evidence from sort of different data-based perspectives about what a phenomenon might be and what might be the underpinnings or the rationales or the reasons for that phenomenon to exist. For our policy briefs, we are going to be doing what is called non-reactive research. Typically, what non-reactive research means is that you're not interacting with a human being. You're not reacting with you're not interacting with a reactive entity. And so what we are going to be interacting with, the data that we'll be collecting primarily, we may do a little reactive research, but we're primarily going to be doing research that's based on documents. And the methods that we typically will use in this policy brief is the method of literature review and then close document analysis. And there are different types of document analysis. You can do content analysis of a document, where basically you're counting words or items in order to understand the frequency with which they occur in the document, and then to kind of gain an understanding of what analytically that frequency might mean. We'll talk more about these too. The second type that I'm thinking of is what we might call a thematic analysis, where you're looking through documents and you're trying to identify, basically specific themes within it. Excuse me. Sorry, I run out of oxygen. And then the third type you might undertake is a thing called discourse analysis, and there are kind of two ways of thinking about discourse analysis. One is kind of a closer um, linguistic reading of the text, where you're looking at the discourse, um, sort of how things are said and spun and interact with one another. There's another kind of discourse analysis, which is much more sort of broad. It's almost a thematic analysis approach, and we might undertake some of that as we look at our whatever the research that we are going to bring to bear in these policy briefs. But mostly what you'll be doing is reviewing the literature in order to create an argument and to find evidence that supports the points that you're going to make in your policy brief. Again, I'm sorry. Um, so anyway, I think that's the general overview that I would like to give you at this time. And as ever, if you have questions, please email or call me. And hopefully I'll see a lot of you in our optional meeting on Tuesday. Other than that, I hope you're having some time off if you can, or that you're using this time productively in ways that make you happy. All right. Thanks very much, everybody, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.